This is a wax cylinder with a piece called Shadows of the Night.
A gramophone sets the tone for the images you see throughout this Paris home. Paintings of mysterious-looking people in 19th century clothing.
Some go surprisingly fast and then some take forever.
They're the work of artist Patrick Lynch, who calls his workspace the studio of the lost and beautiful past. His inspiration is a group of painters called the Pre-Raphaelites, who painted in England in the mid-1800s to around 1920.
They kind of had a romantic longing for a kind of a world they considered lost. And industrialization was kicking in, and people were kind of overwhelmed by the technology of that time.
The paintings are romantic, sometimes melancholy or mysterious.
Some of them do have stories, but I also like for the person looking at the painting to make up their own stories.
Lynch has another passion, the 1960s soap opera Dark Shadows, which he watches on a TV from that decade. It was a series about gothic romance that happened to include vampires. He's painted characters from the show over and over. He hopes there's a message in the paintings to those who study them.
Appreciate the romanticism in it, and that when occasionally some of the images are kind of melancholy, that it's okay to be kind of melancholy. That, you know, if you feel like you don't belong to the time you're living in, you're not alone.
You may notice Lynch's paintings contain a lot of redheads. In fact, all of his art is bright.
They're not bright to me. They're bright to everyone else.
That's because he's colorblind. He depends on labels on his paints to choose colors.
Sometimes I still screw up, and sometimes I still have to ask somebody, what color is this?
That's where his partner Valerie Powell comes in. She's a playwright and former teacher who also loves 19th century history and art. She doesn't mind that their home is full of paintings of women. In fact, she's the subject of many of them.
If he never painted me again, I'd be okay with that. But I like being painted. Everybody likes being seen, and it's even better to be painted.
Lynch has branched out into making collages from 19th century clip art. They sell well at the Wills Gallery in Lexington. Again, when you see these works, Lynch wants your imagination to run wild.
And they're on a boat, and the moon is way too close, and his violin playing is bringing her back from another world or some such business.
It's amazing that a man who sees no colors has created such colorful worlds. The lost and beautiful past, now found and preserved for the future. In Paris, Marvin Bartlett with the spirit of the bluegrass.